What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Let's just go ahead and get into the title. Ghost from the past to crazy case pull ratios for the US like the EU. It seems like Konami over-delivered on that promise of double the ghost rares pulled, and it's about 3 ghost rares per case, except we're seeing crazy lottery win chase pulls of 6 to 7 ghost rares per case for some people, and 0 big fat goose eggs for other. I can't imagine spending that money on a product, ripping it open and seeing nothing, but Ruxin did that also with Grand Creators, saw 0 collector rares. That has to be so freaking sad, while other people were seeing tons and tons of collector rares in their cases, picking up the missing ones, right? So with Ghosts from the Past, Ruxin just opened a ton also. He said somebody in his Discord also reported pulling 0, and I've had a reliable vendor told me he's had cases with 0. Let's go ahead and see what exactly is happening with these lottery case pulls. It seems like you're pulling multiples of the same ghost. You're getting clumping, but within the same case. I watched the Cyber Dragons close back to back, and then also he pulled 3 blue eyes. He would be legally obligated to rip up one if he pulled the 4th. I joked, but past all the jokes, it looks like clumping is very real. He pulled 0 sphere modes here also, and I know early on that tier 0, when ripping things open to fulfill pre-orders, they were also seeing mad clumping early. So when you're going in, you see one Dark Magician Girl, it could be very good, or it could be a one-off as you continue to go through your product. Prices now are going down pretty fast for certain things, and others are holding in. Pre-sale is still on TCG Player. I think that'll dissipate on Friday, and it'll be open to all sellers, so we should see the true bottom out for prices. Maybe some attempts on buyouts weekend 1, as we do see with these sets, but that would be ambitious because a lot of people are opening this for different reasons. Some people are looking to slab up their ghost rares, and Ruxin's pulls, he pulled a lot that he said had quality control issues, streaking on the back, especially off centering, which I'm not the best judge for centering. It's not something I look for. I just want my card to be neat and look pretty decent. He said centering hasn't been an issue for a long time in a set, yet it is with these. So people will be going for near mint ghosts to try to slab up, selling off the rest and selling off anything else in the set to offset costs, while other people will be going for the singles when they should have just bought the singles, either with code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly, or using that TCG Player link in the description down below, costing them nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards they'd already be buying. But sellouts aside, Aluber is short printed. He's still hanging in at $30. He could go down towards $25. Gamer's Choice seemed very right on the head with their pre-sales. You see Heat Soul around $10. I think they had him at $6.99 initially. Hulk near $8 where they had him at, and Borland bottoming out to $4. This is shocking to me because a lot of people are after this card. It could age very well on top of it, yet it's bottoming out during the pre-sale phase this badly. I did call this a race to the bottom, as sometimes happens with the March reprint sets and Megaton singles, but I did not expect Borland to be $4 at this point already. Heat Soul, yes, a lot of Yugi tubers, Yugi streamers, and people love, the code talkers, Yusaku, but when it comes to it, I did expect Heat Soul to have more hype behind them, but Borland didn't see this coming. And then almost everything else is $3 to $2 or even way cheaper than that as the competition ramps up early. So let's watch this throughout the weekend, but definitely great for the consumer. Great, honestly, for sealed getting ripped open on this level. I would have gotten the sealed to keep it sealed long term personally. Now, cards outside of Ghost may be impacted by it. Guardian Chimera is continuing to go down right now, but as everybody gets their Alubers and decks together, I would think they'll want to have access to Guardian Chimera. Most people that already had theirs ready for events probably do, but now a lot more people will be picking up the deck. So as this trends downward, I might think that it would be rebounding soon. Also, seeing Masquerade get double, triple, quadruple down buyouts. Now it's near $30 after all these buyouts. Kinda amazing to watch it burst up in price out of Burst of Destiny. And my final advice, while it's somewhat a meme, not a financial advisor channel, I don't know the future of cards or where they'll go. Tons of crazy token buyouts lately, right? And some of those have settled out, others have stayed up. The generator token, you have Mardell, and you have other reprints for generators and Ghosts from the Past. Well, you need 4 of these tokens at a time, because if you get Ghost Ogred, you're salty. You don't really need the 5th token, right? You can just pretend, oh, I don't have a token. Let me put something on the field. But yeah, getting 4 of these tokens will probably be the standard for a generator player. And with more people having them in hand, more people might seek these out. So use that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, because people will want probably 4 to 5 of these. Now, Dimension Force finished leaking out except for some of the Starlight rares as well as the exclusives throughout the commons. We know that Beyond the Pendulum is the final secret rare, and the secret rare spread is very good for what seemed like an average plus set. I would call this like a weaker Eternity Code. It reminds me a lot of Dark Neostorm, where there's tons of things for different players, yet like Dark Neostorm, there's not the mega staple inside that where you had access code for Eternity Code. I call the Eternity Code like a better, Dane, but when it comes to, Dane, a lot went wrong and right, and it aged well, yet initially didn't do so great. This set has stuff for like so many different players. You have the Scareclaw inside, just to name one deck. You also have the Starving Venom / Predaplant stuff I was excited for, very low rarity. You have the Dinomorphias, but most importantly, the Therions, which mix nicely with a lot of decks. So this sealed has been out of a lot of places. It might have been under-ordered versus Power of the Elements going to wreck the meta. A lot of people in there, but I still like Power of the Elements even without the rarity spread so far. More for my money, and it's cheaper right now. But if you are looking for Dimension Force, both big 3 deals in tier 0 have it in stock. Code What's Good 5 for 5% off, and to support the channel directly will work there with free shipping. But yeah, Dimension Force, it is starting to go off the market for the sealed a lot. Speaking of what gets support there, Exo Sisters, which get more support even later, seems to be fighting Splight pretty well in the metagame as an anti-meta-ish deck, and we're seeing a lot of buyouts there. I did warn you to get the Ultra sooner than later if you were interested. Exo Sister Packs is now $24, lowest listed. Tons of people rushing in and listing theirs though. And remember, Grand Creators was opened a ton for the Adventure Token Engine, so a lot of people probably have piles of this stuff that they didn't bother moving. We'll see a lot of cooldowns before re-buyouts and then the deck actually getting here versus the respikes we often see on the graphs as usual. But again, don't know the future. It could act differently than that, but one thing's for sure, yeah, you probably should be getting the ultras that you want sooner than later. Also, speaking of Splight and the future from Power of the Elements, the Swap Frog engine, especially the highest end, keeps getting bought out to ridiculous proportions. Look at this. Somebody spent $400 a Swap Frog at this point for the ultis. Also, Ronin Tonan's getting consistent sales at $35. So if you have this engine in one of your Baboomer decks, you might want to actually consider selling around this time and picking it back up when the meta calms down in like a year, because these are crazy, crazy prices for the hollowed out versions of stuff like Ronin Tonan and Swap. Anti-Magic Arrows apparently did very well at the YCS in Sword Soul to counter Despia branded, and people have bought up the Ultra out of the Duels Pack Battle City. Funny enough, brought up Battle City not too long ago as an example of a set that is bloated, but also the Gold Series version spiking up here and going all the way to $8 plus, as its only reprint that happened thanks to Maximum Gold. Speed Duel Battle City box has a ton of buyouts all of a sudden, and I did mention I think it's wise to look back at this after the new version, the GX box, came out, and people bought out Reinforcement Secret again, Genzo Secret, Breaker Secret, going after a ton of the cards in here all of the sudden, and that's what happens. You have the new set come out, people reach back, complete their collections, or go deeper into the set as more of a line appears for the collectability of the first iteration. Castel Ultimate Rare has another buyout, and when I say another, we watched this happen like 7 times, and each time it falls down. The question is, will it ever hit a point where it just stops, where that's it, where it's chilling? Well, maybe, maybe not. Will it bottom out? Will it get a triple down buyout this time? We'll wait and see, but this is likely for past formats, Time Wizard hype, that sort of stuff. Also, Dandelion, it's got a consistent spike up over time, and now it's disappeared to the point where the cheapest are around $150. One I'd like to actually suggest, while it's gone down a good amount over time and is limited now, Fire Formation Tenki is a pretty nice one for some past formats, Fire Fist versus Mermail, although Mermail's typically the favorite there, and when it comes to this card, if it sees play in a deck in the future once again, I could see this spiking to 150, 160 within the TCG if it is taking over the meta once again. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit Ultimate Rare today on Ultimate Rare Watch is around $300+ at this point, consistently having gone up, and actual sales in this range within the past couple weeks at $318. Stroll Lock also similarly huge sales at $250, and a lot of listings around that $250 mark. And Caius for past formats, we brought this up multiple times. This is one that's getting that quadruple down the buyout. Somebody spent $470, $469, not so nice on this card, and the lowest English listings now are near $500. I have a misprint one of these in the closet, funny enough. So kind of insane to see some of these prices for past formats go to these lengths. And then Nova Summoner, maybe this is for past format, let me know in the comment section down below, or just collectability. The secret rare getting bought out, as well as the ultra super low on quantities. And finally, a funny snapshot. Look, a timely market to watch. A funny snapshot is that the ultimate rare is worth less than the secret rare. Sometimes the upgrade isn't so much of an upgrade when it comes to the market. There's also the ghost rare version still in the lead, but I just thought this was extremely funny to show off still. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. What do you think of the ghost rare craziness between quality control, people hitting it big, other people hitting it not so big, and how that's going, and also the future of the game, Dimension Force and Power of the Elements? How do you feel about these two sets? And yeah, the Starlight's looking very nice between Ghost Bell and the Therion so far for Dimension Force. I think they really maximized a good give and take balance with what they rarity bumped versus what they gave to the community. It feels very nice, at least for me, to see low rarities on all the Predaplant stuff personally. Thanks for watching.